Alright, I'm down in Broadview. Approaching Broadview, entering Broadview. Down that way is the secret sheriff's station. About to cross Salt Creek here. The shoe in the middle of the road's been there for about a week now. We've had a decent amount of rain. So there's Salt Creek. Can't really see it, can you? A lot of deer hang out over here. So I was just down at the Burlington tracks working on that project there. They're getting ready to, well, finish. They got their new railroad bridge in place. The detour has been used for a while. They got to put the tracks straight onto this new bridge, and then they have to basically rearrange the old shoe fly trackage. So many videos on that. Right now I'm heading kind of over towards the harbor belt. I haven't been over here in this spot for a while. I thought I'd check it out. If you want to drive around here and visit here, I suggest you have armored plated tires. I've had a couple of flats in the last dozen years, and I'm pretty sure they all came from little bits and wire and screws and things like that. The signal tower here, I believe, was one of the signal towers that got put in place to eliminate the traffic jams. That bridge over there, that's the Salt Creek Bridge over, Harbor Belt Bridge over Salt Creek. I see a lot of deer in here too. Alright. Yeah, they added a track here, or they automated the switch or signal or something, so they picked up efficiency down here. This is the secret Bat Road to get in and out of the area. That's the Cermak Road Bridge right there, named after Mayor Anton Cermak, who of course was assassinated in Miami back in, what was it, 1932 or 33? Well, he was riding alongside Franklin D. Roosevelt. To this day, people are wondering who was the real target. Was it Cermak or was it Roosevelt? Okay, so now we're back over to, this is 25th, but I think it shares a name like Keeman, something like that. Over there's where the bakery used to be, or it still is, but they used to have the discount bakery there. Oh man, you could buy, like, you know, a ton of butter cookies for $1.50. Oh, I miss those days. Yeah, it's getting near Halloween, so everybody's got their, well, most everybody's got their decorations up. I personally don't do the Halloween stuff. I kind of like the, you know, like I never grew up, so I'm still kind of a kid. And I like, you know, the scary stuff and the skeletons and the ghosties and things like that. What I don't like is spending huge amounts of treasure on Chinese communist junk. Most of the stuff they're selling in the stores now, of course, is Chinese Communist Party merchandise. And, you know, that's just our treasure going back over to them so they can make more hypersonic missiles for the upcoming sneak attack. Well, it's a reasonable hypothesis. Alright, so this is 17th Avenue in Cermak. I'm not sure, but the one place over there that takes they'll take your title and give you a loan on it, like a title loan. I think that place has moved or they've shut down or something. Personally, I would never borrow against the title of my car. I would have to be really desperate. It's the same thing with those payday loan things. It reminds me of the old juice loans. It really does. You know, with the juice loans, you ever listen to those guys explain the loan? You know, I'm going to loan you 100 today, and day after tomorrow, you got to pay me 50, and then the day after that, you got to pay me 50 again, and then if you miss the payment, then it's a double 50. You know, there's just, it's invented, it's created, so you can never, ever keep up. It's just impossible. This district here, there used to be factories down here. I think there was an International Harvester factory here that got built during World War II. Then it went through some post-industrial collapse, and then the retail has taken over. I'm coming up on the old Illinois Central, the Canadian National. I was out here this morning, and I caught the Addison Local. I got some good stuff, so I'm going to probably put that one up later. I am desperately searching for something profound to say. Now, if there's anything profound to say, it's that on wet streets with leaves coming down, it's just like ice. Garbage day here in Broadview. At least on the west side of the street. I'm assuming it's Broadview on that side too, but what the heck. So what I'm doing now is I'm heading up towards downtown Elmhurst. What I'll do is I'll check out the tracks there, and then I still have errands to run. I have a really weird job and or lifestyle, so basically my life revolves around ancient people, which is weird as a historian. You know, it's kind of appropriate, but let me tell you something. Ancient people know how to make messes. They sure do. And that's my job. I have to clean up after ancient people and feed ancient people and make sure ancient people don't get sick. Now over there is a really good used store. I picked up 2 Addison seriographs there. That's the artist Addison. He went to the school, the Art Institute, just after World War II, I believed, and he had a great realistic style that my father had turned me on to years ago. And you look at his paintings, I believe they were originally watercolors and maybe pencil. And when you look at it, I mean, it's amazing the amount of detail this guy could put into them. And what he did is he could get the shadows right. I got 2 scenes from him. I have 2 pictures that I picked up here, and both are winter scenes. And I don't know if you've ever drawn snow, painted snow, done anything to represent snow. It's very difficult, and that guy knocked it down. Oh, he is good. Seriograph is like a silk screening process, so I think what this guy did is he knocked out like 400 copies of each of some 24 originals he had. My favorite is actually at the Art Institute in storage. It's a steamboat that's kind of like abandoned and sinking, half sunk, and like a backwater of the Mississippi River. It's really cool picture. Alright, I'm on Roosevelt Road, going past the Broadview Family Restaurant. That got remodeled recently. And we're going to go over the Harbor Belt tracks again over here. I'll give you a look to the north as we go over. much to see, huh? All right, and then that rail viaduct coming up, that's the Canadian National again. You know, I just crossed that grade crossing. The harbor belt here runs basically true north and south, but the Canadian National Freeport sub, the old Illinois Central, runs at a diagonal. If you were in Broadview and you wanted to get out to Addison, you'd be going north-northwest or west-northwest. It's kind of a low spot here. When it rains really, really bad, we get the water backing up here. Now over here to the right is where the this is where the, like the Chicago Roar and Elgin was the CTA stuff. It came through right back in here, and it had to have its own bridge. I am going to sign off because I'm getting a chip warning here, so I'll be talking to you. I just fired it back up. What I did is I took the chip out of the inferior camera, all right, and I put it into the superior camera, not to be confused with the still camera. It's still a camera. So we're at Mannheim here. Roosevelt and Mannheim, horrible intersection. I got a red light camera here that I despise. They will try to take your money. Revenue extraction at its finest. Over there, the cemeteries. Take a look at the video I made called Gangbanger's Funeral. I filmed it right through here. It was like this, just kind of a rowdy group of mourners coming in. The local police can handle mourners, they can handle people going into the cemeteries and, you know, doing their thing, but when you're out on the city streets, man, you shouldn't be zipping in and out of traffic when you're pretending to be a funeral procession. You know, somebody else is going to get hurt. You always got to think about your neighbor or your own family. You know, when you want somebody in your family, you know, hit by a car from a funeral procession. Okay, I'm up on Oak Ridge Street here. We're coming up on the Canadian National again. From here I'll be able to look down towards Broadview, and I should be able to see all the way down to the yard. It's not as high as it is at Wolf Road. There's a sheriff over there. Green light, and I didn't see anything to the east. Okay, we're getting to the top, highest location in Cook County, Illinois. Hillside, of course, is named Hillside because of the hill which we are on. And as we come to the top here, this is the newest height. The original height was right over here where the expressway is, and it got carved down, I believe, about 1958, 1960, when the old Congress Expressway, now known as the Eisenhower, got put through. Here's the old Hillside Theater, where it says Freedom Hillside. That's the old Hillside Theater. That is one of the original movie palaces in the area. Coming up on the right is where the mall used to be. Here's the old Hillside bowling alley. There used to be a Carson's right here where the CarMax is, and was a Goldblatt's anchoring the other end, and all sorts of other stuff. It was a nice little mall. Originally an open-air mall, and then it got roofed over. Alright, so we already know it's green going that way. Alright, so once again we have crossed or gone under the Canadian National. This is Wolf Road here in Hillside. This is another cemetery over here. That's Mount Carmel. I've done some videos in there. The haunted monument is just half a block up the street there. That's kind of a scary story. This is the old Hillside Police Station firehouse. All right, looking down. Nope, I didn't see anything, and the light's still green. So it's going to be a while before anything shows up on those tracks. More of the old mall. This piece of the expressway is called the extension, and it actually cut off quite a few acres on the back end of the expressway. About to cross Butterfield Road. Q's Pizza is right to the left over there. Stymax used to be over there too. Stymax went out of business a couple years ago. I don't know what happened. I think the family just didn't see the money in it, and they shut it down before the whole plague thing got going. All right, we're going to go underneath the low bridge here with this truck, so let's see if the top gets pulled off. 13 foot 6 inches. Yeah, it's a 30 limit here. I'm doing a little over 35, so I know he's 38 right now. This road goes up another half a mile, then it dead ends at the Proviso Railroad Yard. And there's a lot of truck terminals in there, so a lot of semi-trailer traffic comes up Wolf through this point. You'll see it's residential, truck. In the old days, Wolf Road used to go across the yard, but the old wooden trestle road bridge burned down, and I don't know if it was the 30s or the 50s. There's still people talking about that. Rebuild the bridge. I think it probably is a good idea. So this is St. Charles Road coming up here. I've done this for slow TV when there's no talking, and I've had a couple of different driving around videos. The one that kind of covers this same route, I did was a drive through the snow maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was just a nice snowy day. I'm doing this today because of the rain and the lights. It's more fun. The pictures show up better. That used to be Berkeley Finest Foods. Republic Bank, that used to be the National Bank of Commerce, not to be confused with the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills. We're going, this is actually, I guess, beautiful downtown Berkeley. There's another business district at the light. You would make a left, and that's Taft Avenue. You would go down, 6 blocks. And there's a mini business district there where the old interurban used to come through. Chicago, Roar, and Elgin. There were several stops in the area, and the community grew up around it. Okay, the construction ahead of us is the Tri-State Tollway. Tri-State, they're rebuilding something called the Central Stem Project, and so the surface street connector over the Tri-State Tollway and then the Congress Extension Expressway, 290. The bridges are being built higher and I believe a little wider. So we got to kind of take it easy through here. Oh man, the construction around here these days is absolutely nuts. So we got this 2-lane thing, and it's usually a divided highway. I mean, check out the cranes here. Come on. You know, they did all these electric pylons not that long ago. Take a look at the traffic down there. All right. Now we are entering the Elmhurst Metroplex. Elmhurst is a suburban community of approximately 45,000 people. And we're at the far eastern edge of DuPage County. When we crossed that first little bit of bridge a second ago, that was the county line. There's a guy coming up on my right. He thinks he's going to pass me on the right. Come on, dude. All right, check out these gates. I love to point this out. This subdivision originally was going to be a cemetery, and they actually built the cemetery gates there, that stonework. And then somebody said, hey, we can extract more revenue if we built homes. And that's kind of the motto of Elmhurst, revenue in extremis. If there is something that can be taxed, Elmhurst will find a way to tax it. Your phone bill is taxed. There's utility taxes on the utilities from the community. Vehicle stickers, see them in the corner of the window there? Oh, that's wonderful, 35 bucks a year. It's also kind of cool because there's this competition to get the low number. The same 10 guys show up at City Hall every year to try to get the first 10 stickers. And I think the lowest I ever got was 7. I'm usually like 121 or 422 or something like that, because I'll show up on the day they go on sale, but I'm not real big on, you know, it has to be the number one. I had an ex-in-law who worked for a village government, and he was connected, so for years he was always able to get village sticker number 1. And I think that particular village was a big village, more like a city, and they had a couple 100,000 or 100,000 village stickers out there. Okay, so we're going to cross the old Chicago Northwestern, the Union Pacific Railroad. The Proviso Railroad Yard is just behind me. A quarter of a mile is where it begins. The Proviso Railroad Yard's about 4 miles long and at least a mile wide. Might be as much as 2 miles wide. Okay, here's some Halloween decorations. I really like these silhouettes. Very simple silhouettes. I'm hoping they're not Chinese communist silhouettes. But it looks like you can really easily stack them and store them. I swear that most of the people in this town who have storage are only renting the storage just so they can keep up their stockpile of Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations, and then all that worthless foreign-made junk that somehow has become an heirloom to the family. Okay, this is the true downtown Elmhurst here. Here's the underpass. That's a highway quality underpass. 4 lanes, can handle semi-trailers. It can handle the 53s, but yet somehow truck drivers coming through town don't know about it. And I got a video about a semi-trailer stuck up on the rails over there. It's called This Trailer Blocked the West Line. And for the life of me, it's just amazing how many people comment on that. They really run this town down, those truck drivers do. Here's the train station. Okay, new building over here. New building over there. This is a bad intersection because of the reverse angle. Alright, here's the old post office. Goes back to, I believe it was planned during the Hoover administration. And, who was it? Secretary of Interior Morgenthau? I think he dedicated it. He might not have been the Secretary of Interior at the time. The YMCA's on the opposite side. There's our library over there. And then the Elmhurst College is back this whole stretch, pretty much. Elmhurst College, they've been around for like 150 years. They just rebranded. They are now Elmhurst University. Yeah. So here at the so-called Elmhurst College tennis courts, which is property of the city of Elmhurst, which is where the lumberyard used to be, they've kind of taken that over. And that's a good spot to watch the trains. Ever tell you about the short list of people you don't want to anger? An example of one person not to anger is your trash man. If you upset your trash man, you might not ever get your trash picked up again. Or maybe he'll pick it up and then leave half of it on the street in front of your house. Never tick off your mailman. You tick off the mailman, you might not ever see your mail again. Incoming, outgoing, anything. All sorts of people like that you just don't want to, you know, mess with. Alright, so this is the reverse angle. We're coming back through the north side of the tracks is like the industrial level downtown. This is where all the meat of the downtown is. There's always been some stuff off to that side. But the majority of the buildings and everything are all over here. The train station's going to get replaced soon. They are already working on the blueprints and the concepts. They got these posters for City Sentry. There's some stupid politics in this town, and I don't know if you're familiar with tax districts, but they created a tax district here, and they got like a group that kind of like runs the tax district, being the downtown, and somehow they came up with this city center thing. I call it City Sentry. Well, after being here for close to 60 years, you know, it's downtown. Everybody called it downtown. There's a few people that called it uptown. Sometimes people will get more specific and they say, hey, we're going to go over to Soukup's, which I believe used to be right here. That was a hardware store. Or the York Theater, which is right here. By the way, the York Theater is named after the township. The township is named after New York State. The rumors that there was named after a family named York is just that, rumors. Quite a few of the original settlers to York Township were from New York State, and they wanted to honor where they had come from, so it became York Township. What an Addison is and why it became Addison Township, I don't know, because that was before the painter got famous and before the train got famous. So what an Addison is, I do not know. Alright, we're gonna go around the corner here. This is one of the few things that's survived over the last 20 years. There's still a tavern over there that used to be the Fire Bell. Okay, new buildings, new buildings, new buildings. Along in here was the famous Al's Hobby Shop. Oh, that was a great place. And I hate to see that one go. Okay, now we're going to cross the tracks again. I actually did have a reason to come down here, and I was looking for a friend of mine. Okay, post office again. Brand new building. Okay, up there on the right is the Elmhurst Art Museum. Over there is the library. Elmhurst Art Museum. Oh, they got one of those Halloween silhouettes out there. Alright, now there's two schools coming up. You got an Elmhurst Elementary School right here. And then Immaculate Conception is in here. Over there, the white building on the corner, that is the old, oh God, I can't remember their name now. Oh. Lazadro Museum of Lapidary Art. It was a rock museum. It was a really cool place, but the building got to the point where it couldn't be maintained anymore, at least as a international quality museum. So, well, the tenant moved, and so they moved about 2 miles away, and they're now in a Oakbrook mid-rise. Now coming up here, the First Church of Christ Scientists, you'll notice the for sale sign out in front. Well, it just got sold. They're going to tear it down and it's going to become a house. Now this is kind of like the rich man's part of town, so to speak. The bigger lots, they go back, 120 years. It just blows my mind when I see some of this stuff. This is kind of the high point in town. Also, it's Cottage Hill. I think in other videos I pointed out where the marker is for that. Great, just when I want to make a turn, here comes somebody wanting to make their own turn. This bugs me. Okay, it's going to be tight. Car sliding. Alright, this thing with the orange fence up here, they've been working on this for a couple months now. They had the fence back there going all the way back to the spring. This is York Street here. This is the main road through town. And actually I finished my errands some time ago, so at this point it's just a little bit of exploring. The street used to be lined with all these really neat elm trees, but the Dutch elm disease got to the trees and oh well. I went to an estate sale back over there a couple years ago, and wouldn't you know, I walked in the living room and they had some Addisons hanging on the wall, and I had a really neat conversation with the homeowner. She said, make me an offer, and I'm like, I know what they're worth. I don't have that much money. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Prairie Path, Chicago, Roar, and Elgin. This is where the York State Bank used to be. And And then there was a liquor store here, and then a bar. The bar was called The Office. Now, over there across the street where all those shops are, everything from the corner all the way down the block, that was all residential back in the late 70s. This structure on this corner, this is newer, I believe, in the last 20 years. We're going to cross the Canadian National again, the old Illinois Central, and their freight station was right about here. And you're not going to be able to see where the regular station was, just it was right on the tracks. And I am going to go around the block because I saw a light down towards the Tri-State Tollway. I have no idea what that is, what it's for. Let's see what the city guys are doing today. Oh, somebody wiped out and hit a light pole. Like I said, you know, the leaves on the street with the water. And it's been a dry year, so who knows how much oil. I was just over here last week, took a picture of a house. And the gas company guy gave me a hard time. Are you taking pictures of my truck? Why are you taking pictures of my truck? And I'm like, dude, I'm a historian. I'm taking pictures of this house before it gets torn down. Ooh, I thought you were taking pictures of my truck. And I'd like to point out the natural gas guy was just sitting in the truck. And he was not doing any work whatsoever that I could tell. There's another tear-down house or a remodel coming up over here. Might be this one. All right, let's go over here. Oh, speaking of the railroad station, now we're actually going to be able to see it here. Okay, see that control box and that little yard shed? That's approximately where it used to be. All right. Oh, optical illusion. Buick. There's a guy coming around the corner here, and he has passed me. All right. So we're gonna head back out this way. Fire station number 2. It's the second fire station number 2. Maybe the third. I'm not sure how they numbered them in the old days, but at this location, fire station number 2, the original fire station number 2 at this location was replaced, and this is the next one they built. Oh yay, we get to go past the murdered lamppost again. I can't remember if the supervisor was here before or not. In the old days, those public work guys wouldn't have needed a truck. They would have just walked down from the downtown, and they would have carried the new one with them, and then they would have carried the old one away. Okay, southbound on New York. Hey, check this thing out. It's a giant praying mantis. Okay, Madison Street. Here in Elmhurst, a lot of these streets are extensions of Chicago streets. So if you know that State and Madison is a 0 point in Chicago, well, that's the same Madison. It's truncated. It's not a continuous street. I mean, it goes a couple blocks down to the tollway and then it stops. And then it stops on the other side of town too. Over here on the right, they tore down one, maybe two houses. That's Hal Street coming up. And I'm not sure if they're going to put up two. It looks like two homes. So at this point, I'm heading for the shopping. Oh, you jerk. So we're at York. York and Butterfield. We are on Butterfield Road. Butterfield Road got named after the stage line that used to run through here. I want to say the guy's name was Lyman, L-Y-M-A-N, Lyman Butterfield, and it was his stage line. And there was another Butterfield stage, you know, out in the west. I don't think the families were directly related. All right, now this is the flood zone through here, right about, okay, in 87, right about here was the furthest that Salt Creek made it. All the neighborhoods to the right, if you look, you'll see the streets go downhill a little bit. And those streets flooded curb to curb, over the tops of the parkways, a lot of cases up to the garages. Butterfield, where I'm at now, had like 6 inches of water in the street, something like that. In the old days, there used to be a series of creeks and swamps through here. There was one creek that wrapped around behind the back of the Shell station here. The American Legion's over there. I liked it much better when they had an M113 armored personnel carrier parked in front of the place. That was always kind of cool to check out. We're coming up on Salt Creek again. I thought we were going to get a new bridge years ago. They were talking about making this bridge higher. In the 87 flood, there was so much garbage came down the creek that it actually jammed up under the bridge, created a dam. And the water upriver from the dam was definitely much deeper than downriver. This is a swamp right here. This whole section is a giant peat bog. There's a rumor that there's a Caterpillar D9 sunk into the muck right over here. Can't tell if it's raining harder or if it's just mistier because of the highway conditions. This is a whole swampy section back in here, back over here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go over Sugar Creek here. I'm not sure where the pipe and the duct goes under the highway, but right here at the light is Sugar Creek. That row of bushes there, that's where it is on the opposite side. It comes up under the intersection here somewhere. And you know something? I think I'm directly above the pipe. I think I am. Alright, we're getting close to Walmart, and Walmart people are kind of totalitarian about people filming on their property and stuff like that, so I'm going to have to give it up. So I really haven't ranted as much as, I really should. I mean, I got a lot of ammunition to go off on a lot of people and things, but man, with all the other stuff just going on, just really agitating sort of year, 2 years. The last month has been really entertaining because of the amount of stuff I've had that has broken down. Okay, that's the Addison Fire District from Addison, Illinois. Huh, I wonder why we didn't get the left turn signal here. Maybe they cheated. I don't know. We just got, oh, I know what happened. That ambulance, when the ambulance came by, it ripped us off for our turn. It's got the Opticon. Let me see, there's a sensor on this side. See that little stick? That's like a receiver. And when the ambulances go by, they have a transmitter. The signal goes to the receiver. There's a box around here. Okay, there it is. See that big steel box over there? That's the control box for the traffic signals. So if you have an ambulance coming through, the receiver, I believe, can discern which direction it's coming from, possibly which way it's going to, and then it controls the lights to make red lights so nobody will cross in front of the emergency equipment. Back over there is one of our town's disappointments. We were trying to buy 16 acres along the creek to put in a park, and the money just didn't come forward. I think we had a referendum, they got voted down, and it's really disappointing because there's not much open land in town anymore. And over there on that side, they're now building a some sort of commercial buildings, campus, that sort of thing. Real estate in Elmhurst is very valuable. If you want a residence, it's valuable. If you want something to sell from, it's valuable. And then there's all these guys, like these guys, the tradesmen. They need places for their shops because they need to be close to their work. So there's lots of smaller businessmen that have set up shop in these miscellaneous little industrial buildings along here. That little building over there looks like a farmhouse. Yeah, the guy moves in just in time. That's well, they sell sod, black dirt, peat moss. I think they sell crushed gravel. So there's always somebody in town that needs that sort of stuff. And apparently, the guy who's been running that, and he's been running for years, and he's making enough money at it. He's making enough money at it that he can keep doing it. Sugar Creek, Sugar Creek. All right, we're on the frontage road. All right, friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep watching the videos. Check the playlists. There's always something new. I'll be talking to you soon.